G'day, this is Simon at South OC Cars and Coffee. I'm with Jim, who has an amazing car with an amazing story. What's the car, Jim?
It's a 1934 Ford Victoria.
Yeah, it is so cool. The story behind this thing's absolutely amazing. Check it out. Jim, I've seen this car at the show before. You've brought it quite a few times, and I was walking past the other day, and it was Lou Leto that said to me, there's a great story behind this car. Now, you've owned it for a long time, right? When did you buy it?
Bought it in 1961.
1961. And did you say it was one of your first cars or something?
This is my very first car I ever owned when I was in high school.
That is so cool. And what did the car look like when you bought it in 61? Was it?
It was a bone stock with a flathead in it.
Right.
It was in pretty decent shape. It was a nice car. I paid a lot of money for it. I had put out $100 for it.
$100, which in today's money you just like wish you could get hold of this for $100. But it didn't stop there. This car then went through a few, shall we say, life changes. Tell me about the first one.
Well, I put a 283 Chevy in it.
Right.
And then it was my drive to work car, and then I drag raced it in sportsman class on the weekends.
Did you really?
And then after that, I decided I wasn't going fast enough, so I made a C-gasser out of it.
So this car went from having the flathead into it, then the 283 in it, and then you weren't happy with that, and then you turned it into a gasser?
Yeah, had a 301, Hillborn injected 301 Chevy with a Chevy rear end and a B&M hydro.
Oh, that's awesome. And what sort of times was it pulling back in those days?
Well, I raced it mostly 8th miles, so that's hard to
okay.
weight it.
Yeah, I guess it is.
That was in Illinois, and most of the strips around there were 8th mile.
That's right. And I guess the other thing, then now it goes back until what it looks like now. When did this last transformation take place?
Well, I sold the car when I moved from Illinois to California.
Right.
It was in '65, and I sold it for $650 at that time. And then I bought it back 28 years later. I bought it back, and I paid $20,000 for it.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! So when you sold it, was it a gasser? Was it sold as a drag car?
Yeah, it was a drag car. It was. In fact, the guy that bought it from me put a Hillborn injected 427 in it.
Wow!
And when he raced it, he was turned in the 11s with it at like 120.
Wow, and those days that's a pretty quick car.
Yeah.
So when you bought it back, what was it when you bought it back? Was it a drag car or did somebody did?
The guy bought it and made a street rod out of it.
Okay. So then you've put something a little easier to work with, I guess. So now you've brought it back to its original glory, I guess, and you've got a flathead back in it again, I believe.
No, it has a Chevy in it.
Oh, okay. It's got a small block in there.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And it has a Corvette rear end, independent rear suspension, and a
that's cool.
Mustang independent front.
So I heard you start it up and move it. It's a reliable car, and you said you've taken this on a lot of trips as well, yeah?
We've been on 5 AmeriCruises where we put close to 10,000 miles on each trip.
Wow.
We drove it to Canada once, and we drove it back to Illinois, to my hometown once. Yeah, we put a lot of miles on it. I expect that my wife and I put like 70,000 on it.
Oh, that's so awesome. What a great story, mate. You're not a stranger to being Car of the Week. You've actually had, this is your 3rd time, I think, from memory. And as winner again, you get this Meguiar's complete kit, including the polishing sponge, cleaner wax, scratch remover, car wash, glass cleaner, interior detailer, and hot shine foam. Keep this magnificent old Ford that's had such a great life in the condition it's in. Congratulations, Jim. Thanks for bringing it out.
Thank you.
Imagine